What's going on there, YouTube, and welcome back to another comic book video. Okay, guys, so we are going to continue our coverage over Dick Grayson being Batman after Final Crisis. Now, here's the thing. We have been covering a lot of different stories, Batman and Robin, Red Robin, Batman, the Streets of Gotham. We covered a lot of stories, but then I realized I skipped the actual first storyline where Dick Grayson was Batman after Final Crisis. Because we had Final Crisis, Bruce Wayne died. We had Battle for the Cowl storyline, where of course you had Dick Grayson battle Jason Todd to take up the mantle as Batman. But then we jumped into Batman and Robin because it was Grant Morrison's Batman and Robin series. But we didn't cover the main flagship Batman title, where of course it's the first storyline of him being Batman. Like, it's him literally jumping into the Batman outfit and saying, hey Gotham, Batman is back. It's actually a pretty good storyline. I just can't believe I forgot to actually sit down and cover this storyline. Now, with that being said, like I said, this is Dick Grayson being Batman for the first time. Like, it's his first official Batman adventure. Now, we all know Dick Grayson was Batman back in the 1990s, but this is Batman after Final Crisis. Now, in this storyline, he's going to fight against Two-Face. Now, I really do like this story a lot because when it comes to Dick Grayson becoming Batman, it shows that the bad guys that Bruce Wayne used to fight against all those years, they now notice that there is a different Batman by just looking at Batman, Dick Grayson Batman, and realizing, you're not my Batman. You're something different. You're something new. And that is Two-Face right now saying, I can tell you're not my Batman. And so this Batman story is actually called Batman Long Shadows. Now, with that being said, I know I said earlier that Two-Face is the main bad guy. Now, the reason why I went ahead and told you guys who is the main bad guy is because as we go through this storyline, I want you guys to realize that how Two-Face was able to figure out that Dick Grayson is not the same old Batman that he used to fight against all those years. And so right now, when we jump into today's storyline, we actually pick up 3 weeks in the future. Now, with the storyline being 3 weeks in the future, we actually pick up right now with Dick Grayson getting beat up by a mysterious character. Now, we already know it is Two-Face, but here's the thing though. Dick Grayson is in his Batman outfit, but Dick Grayson is also in the Batcave. And the big question is right now, how in the world did Two-Face figure out to get to the Batcave, or where the Batcave was, to actually get the jump on Dick Grayson, who had just become Batman not too long ago? And so the storyline is going to tell us how in the world we got here from the past up to this moment right here. And so that is the moment where we do jump back to the present day. Now, when we do, is Dick Grayson right now showing the world that there is a Batman back in Gotham City. Now, for most of the bad guys in Gotham City right now, they believe that this is the old Batman, Bruce Wayne. Oh, he's back. We heard he died, but of course, he's not dead, and now he's back, and right now he's trying to protect Gotham City. No one realized that this is a new Batman. Either way, because there was no Batman for a good period of time, and especially with the Battle for the Cowl storyline, you have all these different news channels right now kind of happy about the idea that Batman is back. Now, Gotham is still in bad shape, but at the same time though, it's because there was no Batman for a long time. And so right now, Dick Grayson does have his work out for him right now if he wants to actually make Gotham better again, or not really better again, but back to the point where Bruce Wayne had it, because Gotham technically never has been good ever since the Waynes died. Either way, right now you have all these different news reports talking about the idea that Batman is back in Gotham. Now, with that being said though, you do have Batman right now actually taking down some random arms deal. Now, this is actually very important. because the arms deal that was stopped by Batman, or Dick Grayson Batman, was actually one of the gangs that worked for the Penguin. Now, at this point in DC Comics, Penguin was really trying to be the kingpin of crime of Gotham City, because we saw in Battle for the Cowl storyline, him and Two-Face were actually fighting against one another. Now, this storyline right here is going to establish a lot of different things we saw in other videos we did already, like Grant Morrison, Batman and Robin Volume 1, and also Batman Streets of Gotham as well. Now, with that being said, you do have Penguin very upset about the idea that his guys technically dropped the ball, that this was supposed to be a hush-hush situation, and somehow Batman found out about this arms deal and of course was able to actually stop it. And so right now is Penguin showing that he's very upset about the idea that Batman is back in Gotham. But he's one of those bad guys that has not realized that technically right now, this is a new Batman. He has no idea that Bruce Wayne, the old Batman, is dead and this is a new one. Now, that is the moment where we do pick up with James Gordon. Now, I kind of like this moment right here, and the reason why, because you have James right now turning on the bat signal. Now, with him actually doing that, it's the way to say, hey Gotham, don't worry, Batman is back. And for James, he is happy about the idea that Batman is back. Now, I technically have a slight problem with this situation right here, and the reason why, because I'm having a hard time figuring out which came first. This storyline right here, or Batman and Robin by Grant Morrison first storyline. Because if you read Batman and Robin by Grant Morrison Volume 1, James Gordon was kind of upset about the idea, not upset, but kind of worried about actually trusting a new Batman and a new Robin. But in this storyline right here, you have James like, yes, this is great. Batman is back. Now at the same time, this could technically mean that he did not see Batman yet. So he has no idea that this is a new Batman. Either way, is James happy about the idea that they now have Batman back in Gotham. Now that is the moment where we do jump over to the Batcave. Now technically, you can take this moment right now and say, okay, it comes before Grant Morrison's Batman and Robin Volume 1 storyline. And the reason why, because we saw in that book that technically Dick Grayson did not like the idea of being the Batcave. And so of course he moved out of the Batcave and moved to a penthouse along with Alfred and Damian Wayne. But right now you have Alfred and Dick Grayson talking about the Batman suit. And the reason why, because you have Dick Grayson he is actually very upset about the suit. And the reason why, because the suit technically doesn't fit his fighting style. Because you have to realize, when he was Robin, he had a short cape. But then he was Nightwing with no cape for many years, many years. And then he's in a Batman suit that has a very big cape. And so right now is Dick just saying, this suit does not actually fit my fighting style. Now, Alfred is actually liking the idea of Dick Grayson being Batman, because now he has another son, or grandson, I guess, at this point. But is Alfred seeing that Dick Grayson was the perfect fit to replace Bruce Wayne? But at the same time, he's remembering that when it came to Bruce Wayne, a lot of their conversations were not that lighthearted. They were kind of dark and more kind of one-sided. And so is Alfred kind of liking the idea that he has a Batman that he can actually talk to? Now, that is the moment where we do jump into Damian Wayne, because that is the moment where we get reminded that Damian Wayne is here at Wayne Manor. Because remember, after Batman Resurrection of Ra's al Ghul, Damian decided to stay with Bruce Wayne. Now, of course, Bruce Wayne died, and so somebody has to watch over Damian Wayne. And it comes down to Dick Grayson. Now, this section right here really does tell us right off the bat that Damian Wayne is going to become the next Robin of DC Comics. And we already know he is. And on top of that, we know what happens to Tim Drake. He leaves and becomes Red Robin. Either way, it's right now Dick training Damian. And I really do like this section a lot. And the reason why, because it's Dick really trying his best to be the best teacher for Damian Wayne. And this was another reason why I really like this book a lot, a tad bit better than Batman and Robin by Grant Morrison Volume 1. And the only reason why, because you had Dick really more there kind of doubting himself with the idea of being Batman. But over here, he's embracing it. And on top of that, he's embracing the idea of being a teacher to Damian Wayne. And that is why I really do like this book a whole lot. Now, getting back over to Two-Face, this is the moment where you have Two-Face begin the process of trying to figure out, hey, is there a new Batman in Gotham City? Because there's no way that this is the old Batman that I have fought against for so many years. And the reason why, because you have Two-Face actually hire a guy named Benny. Now, Benny is technically just muscle, but at the same time, he does other things for Two-Face. Like right now, apparently Two-Face had hired Benny to go get camera footage of all the recent battles that Dick Grayson Batman has been involved in. And the reason why, because Two-Face heard that Batman was dead, but then out of nowhere, ooh, there's a Batman in Gotham City. Hold up, how is that possible? How in the world is that possible? And so right now, you have Two-Face just looking at different photos, different angles of Dick Grayson Batman being a hero. But then he realized something. Batman is smiling. And that right there is actually very important. And the reason why, because when it came to Bruce Wayne, he smiled here and there, but not as much as Dick Grayson, Tim Drake, Jason Todd, or even Damian Wayne. And so with Dick right now being in the Batman suit and smiling, is Two-Face saying, hold up, this is not my Batman. Benny, I want you now to get every single camera footage of every single battle of this Batman right now, so that I can be for sure that this is not the same Batman I fought against for so many years. Now, when we jump into the second chapter of the storyline, we actually do pick up right now with Dick Grayson attacking some random club. Now, when it comes to this club, of course, it's technically one of those hidden operations that's being run by the Penguin. But again, this is another way to actually hurt the Penguin in some kind of way. Now, this is going to be very crucial because when it comes to the Penguin plot line, it does actually tie into the Two-Face plot line, and you see why here in a moment. But you do have Dick Grayson Batman, right now actually being a great hero. And matter of fact, he's having fun being Batman. And so when he's out there being Batman, taking down different gangs or different bad guys, for him, it's a celebration. He's like, no, I'm going to fully embrace the idea of being Batman, but I'm going to do it in my style, not Bruce Wayne style, my style. And so we do see him take down this operation that is actually being run by the Penguin. And so that is the moment where we do jump over to Two-Face. Now, when we do jump over to Two-Face, that is the moment where we do learn right off the bat that Two-Face is the one who has been sending information to Batman about all the different operations that Penguin has in Gotham City. Now, the reason why Two-Face is doing that is actually a very good idea. For two reasons though. The main reason is to get rid of the Penguin, because you have to remember, in the Battle for the Cowl storyline, Penguin and Two-Face were fighting against one another to become the kingpin of crime of Gotham City. But at the same time, is Two-Face still wanting to learn more about this new Batman. And so when you have Batman taking down these different operations that's being run by the Penguin, there's also video footage that the Two-Face can actually sit down and watch over and say, is this the old Batman or is this the new Batman? I just realized I called Two-Face the Two-Face. My mistake right there. I have no idea why I said that. But either way, it's Two-Face right now saying, okay, Penguin is losing a lot of money, but at the same time, I'm gaining money and also more footage to prove this is not my Batman. Now, getting back over to the Batcave, we do pick up with Dick Grayson and Alfred once again talking to one another. Now, this is Dick Grayson realizing that someone is trying to set up some kind of trap, or trying to basically get more information about him. And the reason why Dick Grayson is saying that, because he realized that someone has been purposely sharing information about the different operations that Penguin has across Gotham City. And of course, it's right now Batman, or Dick Grayson, saying, okay, I know it has to be somebody who was technically fighting against the Penguin, but at the same time, who's out there sharing so much information to technically take down another rival gang? But on top of that, should I be worried? Because it's very weird to kind of use a hero to take down another operation without worrying about that hero coming after them as well. And so right now it's showing Dick kind of being a good detective, realizing that technically right now he has two different bad guys to worry about. The one who's right now sharing all of that information, and also the other one where he's been taking down so many different operations across Gotham City. Either way, you also have Alfred kind of happy about the idea of Dick Grayson being a happier Batman, because the conversations once again is very lighthearted, and it does lead into a quick conversation to show that Alfred is a broken man, because this man lost Bruce Wayne and he looked at Bruce Wayne as a son. And so because of that, you have a broken Alfred at the moment. And then he says he found some old drawings of Bruce Wayne to say that Bruce Wayne was a great artist. But right after the Waynes died, Thomas and Martha Wayne, all that happiness, all the idea to draw great, beautiful pictures, all went out the window. And you had a darker Bruce Wayne. And so seeing seeing Dick Grayson right now being this happier Batman is great for Alfred. Now, that is the moment where we do jump over to the Penguin. Now, when we do is right now the Penguin actually meeting up with some mysterious character. Now, when it comes to this mysterious character, it's actually this mysterious character right now trying to help out Penguin deal with his Batman problem. Because with Batman just going around taking down different operations, it's the Penguin right now getting very upset. And so our mysterious character has brought in some help to kind of deal with this Batman problem. Now, we have no idea who is this mysterious character, but we are going to learn who is this mysterious character down the road. Now, with that being said, it's also the moment where we do see one of the guys he brought in to deal with the Batman problem, and that will be Lyle Blanco. Now, Lyle Blanco is actually a D-list character. Matter of fact, he is not that important for the sake of the storyline, but on top of that, he is not that important for DC Comics. But the other bad guy we're going to see is actually a tad bit more interesting and also pretty cool as well. Either way, it's right now our mysterious character telling Penguin, I got this. I'm going to handle your Batman problem. Now, that is the moment where we do pick up with Batman right now just being Batman for Gotham City. You have Dick right now just driving the new Batmobile and trying to be a good hero. Now, that is the moment where he does see a building on fire. Now, guys, I truly believed that this was going to be a Firefly moment, because as y'all don't know, or you do know, I'm a huge Firefly fan, and I was really hoping that this was going to be another Firefly moment, or at least a Firefly story now, because Firefly is one of my favorite bad guys. But at the same time, at this moment in DC Comics and Batman Streets of Gotham, Firefly was working for Black Mask. And so I believed that this was going to be a Firefly moment, but of course it is not. Instead, it's just Dick Grayson right now being Batman and putting out this fire so that people are able to actually escape. Now, that is the moment where we kind of find out this was a trap, but still not a Firefly moment. Instead, it was a trap, but we do have two different characters who are right now trying to fight against Batman to technically get rid of him. And of course, they work for our mysterious character that's right now trying to help out the Penguin. And that is Lyle Blanco and also Clayface. And so getting into the third chapter of today's video, we actually do pick up right now with Dick Grayson being Batman and fighting against Clayface and also Lyle Blanco. Now, this is very important. And the reason why, because remember, this is Dick Grayson's first time being Batman, guys. But on top of that, that means this is his first time right now fighting against power beings or characters in Gotham who are technically strong in some kind of way for the first time being Batman, because he has not fought anybody big time yet while being Batman. He fought all the henchmen, all the regular day criminals. These guys right here are not regular day criminals, and so this is actually a huge challenge for him. But you also have to remember, earlier he was complaining about the Batsuit not fitting his fighting style, and so technically he is struggling, but at the same time he was a little bit overconfident. And the reason why, because he's Dick Grayson. He was Robin, he was Nightwing, and now he's Batman. He fought against all the different Clayfaces and DC Comics. He heard about Lyle, so he knows how to handle these two guys. But because he's a tad bit overconfident right now, and of course not trying his best to take these guys down fast enough, they do get the upper hand on him. And so that is the moment where we do jump over to Two-Face. Now, when we do jump over to Two-Face, it's him right now hiring a bunch of teleporters. Now, the reason why he is doing that, because it's technically right now Two-Face wanting to teleport over to the Batcave. Now, of course, for Two-Face to actually be able to do that, he has to know where the Batcave is at. But the thing is, he doesn't. And so it's kind of like, okay, you're bringing in a bunch of teleporters who also don't know where the Batcave is. And we have to remember that usually in comics, when it comes to teleporters, they have to see where they're going, or they had to be at the location that you are going to try to go to in their past, so that they're able to remember how to teleport there. And so right now for Two-Face, he should know none of these three guys have actually been to the Batcave. So how can they teleport there? Well, here's the catch. Because the girl teleporter, she says the way her power works, she's actually able to teleport to the origins of where things come from. So for example, if she has something that came from Miami, she's able to teleport to Miami just like that. And so when it came to Two-Face right now, he has a Batarang. And so with this Batarang, she'll be able to actually teleport where it was made, where it came from. And of course, it came from the Batcave. Two-Face now has a way to get to the Batcave. And so that is the moment where we do jump back over to Dick Grayson right now being Batman and fighting against Clayface, but also fighting against Lyle as well. And of course, this battle goes as we expect it to go, because these two characters are right now just plot devices. They're just used for right now as a way to kind of move the story forward, but of course, they're not the main focus of this storyline. And so with that being said, it's just Dick Grayson right now being able to actually take out these two bad guys just like that. Now, unfortunately, once he is able to actually take these two guys out, well, that is the moment you have Alfred call in. Now, Alfred was calling in to technically at first say, good job, you know what, we got things to work on, but hey, it was a great night. Except that is the moment Alfred does get a red alert. And that red alert is that somebody right now has broken into the Batcave. And for Dick Grayson, that is a problem, because Alfred is by himself in the Batcave, and it seems that Damian Wayne is nowhere to be found. Now, that is the moment where we do jump over to the Penguin. Now, when we do jump over to the Penguin, is right now Penguin meeting up with our mysterious character. Now, when he does, of course, you do have our mysterious character tell Penguin, hey, I helped you out. Now, of course, you have Penguin like, how? Because Batman is still alive. You technically did not take care of Batman, but you do have our mysterious character tell Penguin, no, What I did was I basically made it seem like you were not the one behind all of these different operations that were happening across Gotham, that technically somebody else was the owner of those different operations. And so if Batman keeps digging, there's no way that he'll be able to trace it back to you. Now, that is also the moment where you do have our new mysterious character technically tell Penguin, hey, by the way, because I help you, you're now part of my gang. You now work for me. And to make sure the Penguin actually follows along, you have our mysterious character send in a bunch of guys to take out the guys that belong to the Penguin. Now that leads us into the moment where you technically do have Dick Grayson get back to the Batcave. Now, of course, when he does arrive, we do get confirmation that Alfred is somewhere safe in the Batcave, but at the same time though, someone did breach the Batcave. And of course we do know it is Two-Face, that his new teleport friend was able to teleport to the Batcave. Now, while you do have Dick kind of right now walking around the Batcave trying to figure out what in the world is going on, well, that is the moment he is actually attacked from behind, and he was shot up with some drugs to kind of make him a tad bit woozy. But that is the moment he is confronted by Two-Face. And this is Two-Face right now announcing to Dick Grayson that he knows that he is not the old Batman, that this is a new Batman. But at the same time, we do see Two-Face right now wearing some kind of very strange version of the Batman suit. Now, as we get into the final chapter of this storyline, it's really right now Two-Face beating down on Dick Grayson Batman, which of course brings us right back to the very beginning of our video where we saw someone beating up on Batman. We already knew it was Two-Face, but now we know how we got to this point right here, with him being in the Batcave and being able to actually beat down on Batman. Because with Dick right now being drugged, he's an easy target for Two-Face to just beat up on. Now, this is Two-Face right now wanting to know what happened to the real Batman, Bruce Wayne. Now, again, all the bad guys technically do not know that Bruce Wayne had died in Final Crisis because they were not there. Most of them were not there. And so when it comes to the bad guys of Gotham City, the only thing they do know is that what they heard. Hey, we heard through the grapevine something happened to Batman, and on top of that, he has not been seen in Gotham for a very good long period of time, which means that he could be dead. But now you have this Batman appearing. Is Two-Face right now just having to know what is the true story of Bruce Wayne Batman? What happened to him? And who the heck are you? And so you have Dick trying his best to make Two-Face believe that he is the same Batman. But Two-Face knows this is not the same Batman. But on top of that, he technically just makes fun of Dick Grayson Batman. And not really make fun of him, but points out where Dick is failing at, where Bruce Wayne has succeeded at. And what I mean by that is, you have Two-Face tell Dick, listen, you're out here right now claiming you're Batman and everything. Do you know that when it came to the Batcave, that Batman has so much security around this Batcave 24/7, it was hard for me to ever find a way into the Batcave. This plan right here, I've been trying to use this plan for years on years, but he has some kind of force field around the Batcave to keep teleporters out of the Batcave. And so with that being said, because you're the new Batman and you were not trying your best to kind of make sure your base was protected, I kind of figured this is the perfect time to actually attack you. Bam, here I am right now, and now I'm going to beat you down, possibly kill you, but before I kill you, I have to know what happened to the real Batman. And that is the moment where you do have Alfred appear. Now, when Alfred appears, you have Alfred being able to actually shoot Dick Grayson with an antidote to kind of get rid of the drugs that Two-Face had put inside Dick Grayson's body. And so with the drugs no longer being around, of course, it gives Dick Grayson the ability to bounce back as well. But at the same time, try to trick Two-Face into believing in the idea that he is actually Batman. And so you have Dick Grayson get right back up and show the brutal side of Batman, his Batman. Now that is actually very important, and the reason why, because remember, when he came to Dick, he was out there in Gotham City being this more fun Batman, but he realized that sometimes you still got to be the old school Batman, the brutal Batman. And so right now you see Dick Grayson being that brutal Batman towards Two-Face and being able to actually defeat him. And so right after that, you do have Two-Face right now being transported over to Blackgate's prison. Now remember guys, Blackgate prison is the other prison that's right now being used very heavily at this point in DC Comics, because at this point in DC Comics, well, Arkham Asylum is no longer around. It was blown up back in the Battle for the Cowl storyline. And so with that being said, technically at the moment you have all the prisoners going to Blackgate, and Two-Face is on his way right now to Blackgate, except that is the moment he is freed by Black Mask. Now at first we had no idea it was Black Mask, but at the end of the section we do learn it is Black Mask. And also he was the guy who helped out Penguin earlier, who technically right now had forced Penguin to join his side. And so that is why we see in other videos we did when it came to Batman, Streets of Gotham, and also Batman and Robin, where where Penguin is right now technically working for Black Mask. This is where it comes from. And honestly, I like it. Now, with that being said, right now you have Black Mask asking Two-Face the same question: join my side or technically die. Now, really what he says is that you have a few options. If you join my side, trust me, you'll become one of the best villains of Gotham City. But if you don't join my side and leave, you are technically exiled from Gotham City. You can never come back. But if you stay in Gotham City and try to fight against me, I'm going to kill you. And you have Two-Face say, you know what? I'm out of here. I'd rather be exiled than rather work for you or be killed by you. So I am out of here. And so that now removes Two-Face from Gotham City. Now that is the moment where we do jump back over to the Batcave. Now this is technically the moment where we actually do see Dick Grayson realize that the Batcave is not his place. That the Batcave is actually Bruce Wayne's place. That when it comes to Dick Grayson, he needs his own version of the Batcave. He needs his own version of Wayne Manor. And so that is where we see him begin the process of moving out of the Batcave. And then of course, as we saw in Batman and Robin by Grant Morrison, they move into a penthouse. And under the tower they live in, of course, there is another Batcave, Dick Grayson's Batcave. Either way, that is the moment where you do have Dick find some hidden department in one of the trophy cases for one of the old bat suits. Now, when he does find this hidden department, he finds a flash drive. And when it comes to this flash drive, is holding a case that Bruce Wayne was working on before he had died. And of course, it dealt with the murder or the murders of Dick Grayson's parents. And the question is right now, why in the world was Bruce Wayne looking to that right there? Why was he trying to figure out who killed off the parents of Dick Grayson? But this is where we are going to end today's comic book video. So please leave me a like down below and subscribe. But guys, I'll see y'all next time. Later.